Thank you for joining me. Hello. How are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. Sharice Johnson Moore here. And I am the owner of Sharice N. Johnson Moore LLC. And today is storytelling day. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. So Jesus. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hey, Wanda. How are you doing today? Now call you Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So how are y'all doing today? What have y'all been up to? I know, a lot of things are going on. Got things going on. When I call you Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happened, yeah. Come on. When I call you, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Come on. Something happens when I call you, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Come on. Something happens when I call you, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happens when I call you, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happens when I call you. When I call you. When I call you. Something happens when I call you. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Something happens when I call you. Yes. How many know when you call in the name of Jesus, something gonna change. Something gonna happen. When I call you. I know that's right. I know that's right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I just had this song in my spirit. And hey, I'm just letting God lead today. Let God lead every day, right? And so I wanted to come in with a high spirit on today's live, and the thing is, hello, Binky, how you doing? Hello, thank you for everyone coming in. Hello, Miss Wanda, how are you doing? Hello, Miss Wanda D. Hollis, the motivational queen, okay? So, and before I get into my topic for today. Hey, Lene, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate you. If you do not have nothing to do this weekend coming, you need to be in the ATL, okay? You need to be in ATL at the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo, founded by Miss Wanda D. Hollis. She is in the place to be in the lab tonight. Miss Motivational Queen, I Am Enough Talk Show, okay? She is having the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo in Stockbridge, Georgia, May the 24th, 2026 from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right, Holiday Inn. If you don't got your tickets, you need to go get your tickets. Oh, and I also want to let you know, when you purchase the Wake Up Winning No Matter What Anthology Volume 3 book, when you show your receipt at the door of the event, you do not have to pay general admission. You don't have to pay your general because you have supported by purchasing the book, okay? So, if you would like to purchase a book, go to the wakeupwinningvow3.com. That's the website. Or you can go to my link tree, my profile, and you can turn around and order you an autograph copy, okay, and show your receipt at the door, and you do not have to pay the general admission fee, okay, all right, because you have supported by purchasing the book, okay, all right. So, it's story time, y'all. It's story time. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about what I wish I knew before I started my business, okay? This is a topic that I share because I want to give other people that's thinking about starting their business a heads up, okay? Entrepreneurship sounds all fabulous and it sounds marvelous. It is something marvelous that you do in your life where you become, thank you, Wanda. It is something that something that you are passionate about. You want to be an entrepreneur, whether you're an author, you cleaning houses, you doing house detail, you doing home cleaning service, you're mopping floors, you're doing details of the house, it's all kind of stuff you could turn into a business now, okay? So don't let nobody ever tell you that what you're doing cannot be turned to a business. Yes, it can, okay? So I want to give everybody a heads up. But the story I want to tell you today is, get your papers in order. Get your papers. Not the money aspect. I'm talking about the legal stuff. Did the name, your name, registering it with the state, and your EIN, setting up your taxes with your state, your tax account with the state. Those things are so important to your business, okay? Why I say this is because I'm finding somebody every day, okay? Hey, how you doing? Hey, hello, everybody. How you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me, Dr. Latoya. And that person that was just in my room, I didn't get the name. So this is something that must be done before a product is produced, before a product is presented, before you even, I tell authors this all the time, before you turn around and publish this book, okay, before you do anything, make sure your legal standing is straight, right? Now, if you do not know how to do these things, please go see a business lawyer. I suggest this all the time to entrepreneur people who want to start businesses. Go see a business lawyer. Not any lawyer, a business lawyer, right? Because he knows all the legalities of what entails of what you have to create before you can put that product out on the floor. Okay? Now, I found this out when I first started dabbling, when I first had the idea, God gave me the vision of writing my book, right? And I did look that up. Do I have to create a business in order to have, in order to be an author? And I found the answer was yes. So, me being the inquisitive person I am, I went and got busy with this research, okay? Got busy with the research, and I had the EIN. I did all the paperwork myself, right? Now, like I say, if you do not know how to do this paperwork, the registration of your name, things of that nature, please go see a lawyer, a bona fide business lawyer. Do not go take your chances and go find somebody that say they could do something on social media. Do your due diligence. That's what I learned from one of my coaches. Do your due diligence when you're picking these people that you want to handle your legalities, right? Because everybody say they could do something, can't do that. Oh, I have learned that the hard way in business. Okay, but I wanted to say that is something that was very important to me. So I did go see a lawyer about how to acquire all of the things that's required to set up a business entity. Okay. Yes, you're gonna have to spend some money. Stop being cheap. Okay. I'm talking to those that may want to watch this replay. When you're serious about starting a business, please do not cheat yourself and be cheap. Okay, this is the best investment you could ever do is creating a business. But there are some things that you may need to do and learn in the process before you start the business. Okay, like picking out the right bookkeeper or certified public accountant. Okay, make sure your taxes, you register your business for the taxes of the state. These things are so important, everyone. They are so important. And I find a lot of authors have not created their business entities. They have not created their business entities. They've written a book, they've been part of a book, but they do not realize that they need to create a business entity for this book. Okay? And I'm catching a breeze, I'm catching them. And I sit down and I discuss this with others, with authors, entrepreneurs, people that come to me ask me this advice. That's first thing I ask them. Look, okay, so have you created your business entity yet? And hey Billy, how you doing? Thank you for joining. And a lot of them say no, and I tell them that's the first step you need to do is create this business entity. Okay, you need to do it. Okay, hey Tar, how you doing? Okay, no, it's a process. Nothing when you go into this mindset of want to be an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to get rid of a whole lot of old stuff that you were doing in the past. You got to change that whole mindset. The mindset of, oh, I'll do it when I feel like it. I'll do it tomorrow. And you must change your mindset, especially if you have issues with money. Yes, I said that. You have to change your mindset of how you treat money. Okay, that was another thing I had to learn. Money come and money go. If you don't know how to handle your finances, don't be no entrepreneur. If you are a person that has this propensity to every time some money get in his hand and here it go, and you spending it, you making it rain, and you doing all that. No. That ain't how it go. Okay. Learn to become very disciplined with your money. Become very disciplined. You gotta become very disciplined. That means you can't go buy this Gucci bag. You can't go buy that $5,000 Gucci bag. Thank you. How you doing, Marcel? How you doing? Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, Chris, how are you doing today? And you cannot go buy this $5,000 Gucci bag and know you need to go buy a stack. You got to get ready for an event, or you're going to travel, or you're going to a speaking event. You're doing these things in your business. Your business must have its own assets. Another thing is, please do not mix your business money with the personal. You must separate the two. You got to. Business has its own finances. The business must have its own finances. That is why when you get your registration paper from the state, you take that, you take your EIN paper, and you take your state tax papers, and you go to the bank and open a business bank account. Personal and business finances should never mix, okay? Because it's going to be hell to deal with at tax time, okay? Going to be some consequences and repercussions, okay? Consequences and repercussions, okay? Because that is time consuming, especially if you do not keep the proper records, okay? Proper records must be kept. Your bookkeeper, your certified public accountant should get a folder every month of what you spent and what came in that business, and your bank statement for the month. Okay, if you want him to keep doing your books, okay? That's how I have mine set up, where every month I print out all my receipts of what I spent, what came in, what went out. If I made money on TT, I keep records of everything that come into my business. Everything is under my business name, and I can take all of that to my certified public accountant. Regardless if I make $1 today or $1,000 tomorrow, the accountant gonna know about it. Okay. You also want to this is another thing. You also may want to find you some free accounting apps to use. Okay. They came in handy when I first started my business, because I was doing my own bookkeeping. Okay, now I go ahead and get my certified public accountant to do my bookkeeping every month, and he get paid. Okay, so you can't get nobody to work for free. Okay, free is not the word in entrepreneur land. Free is not the word in entrepreneur land. Okay? Okay. I had a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, right? Me and her became we became real good friends. And she was thinking about having this event, right? She thinking about having a big event and getting everything together. And then she said something. Well, I could something she said for free. She said about her books or something, right? And I said, hey, no. We not giving away nothing, okay? We not giving away nothing, okay? Let me tell you something. That free will keep you broke. Okay, that free will keep you broke. If you're giving away stuff all the time, it'll keep you broke. You must have income. Okay, so I broke it down to her. She want to have an event. I said, well, if you got books to sell, you could. If you got books, you got a book coming out, things like that. Okay, Wanda, I took a page from you. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I took a page. Okay, so the page is, purchase the book, you can get in the event for free if they purchase a book. Regardless of what author, she got 5 author friends and they want to do something, whoever, and they're all launching their books at this event, right? 5 authors, right? 5 of her friends. And I said, well, they buy a book, they could get in free, okay? Or make them pay $20 to get in. Come on, and then I'm a thinker. I'm always thinking about ways to make money. Thinking about ways where I am not selling my soul to the devil. Okay? Because sometimes you can do some things in your business and you think it's benefiting you, and later on down the road, Uncle Sam come knocking on your door talking about, hey, you owe me some money for this. Ooh, and I don't want to owe Uncle Sam nothing. Okay? Uncle Sam taking enough from me, right? So make sure your finances, whenever you do an event and you're putting this event on, make sure you making money all the way around. All the way around. Don't cut no corners. Sometimes if you cut corners, that's when you're hurting yourself financially. Okay? That's what I'm going to say about events. Okay? But me as a person, I've had this experience to work with Wanda on her on this I Am Enough Empowerment Expo event coming on 24th. Now we've been working together since me and Wanda friends. Me and Wanda real close, okay? And she used to be my coach for my second book. She was my coach for my second book. Ta-da! Okay? So we've been friends ever since we hooked up with this, right? And I have learned so many things from her. I've learned so many things from her and being behind the scenes with this event, right? So I've been taking copious notes. I have. If you ever had the pleasure of being mentored by somebody in business, please do not take them for granted. I'm going to tell you, mentorship is very important in a business. It doesn't matter. You just start. Now, find somebody that can mentor you and give you advice, and you can talk to them and bounce your ideas off of them. And, you have this conversation where it's more of a friendship conversation instead of, how could I say it? It started off as a business relationship, and then it evolved into a mentorship and friendship. And do not take those relationships for granted. Okay? Once you have a person like that in your corner, you make sure you benefit them too. Don't let it be no one-way thing. Don't let it be one way. Please do not treat people that are helping you as it's all about me and I'm going to get what I can. No, you got to contribute something to the relationship too. Okay? And when you can be an asset to them, be an asset to them. Be an asset. Be somebody that they can come, hey, Ronslin, come and say, look, I need you to assist me with this. And I was honored when she asked me that, to be the vendor coordinator of the I Am Enough Empowerment Expo. It taught me a lot, being on the team and seeing everybody activity and learning all these new things. And, if you're not, you have in business, it's good to have someone that you can learn from. And you got a up close, in the back pocket kind of relationship where, they teaching you something new every day, right? That's another thing that I wish I had in the beginning of my business, in the beginning part, or before I had started my business. But we don't know what kind of timing God got. We don't know what timing, God got timing for everything. He ain't trying to, he knows when you need, he knows what you need when you need it, right? So, also, I had this, when it comes to partnerships, okay, we're going to talk about their partnerships, okay? Make sure it's equal. If you ever go in a partnership with somebody, make sure it's equal. Okay? Make sure it is equal balance. It is equal. We're doing equal amount of things in this partnership. Because sometimes people will come and ask you to do stuff, and they got all these ideas and all this stuff, and they want you to join them and stuff like that. And then before you know it, you doing all the work, and they just say they ain't doing nothing. Be like, hold on, how I end up making these flyers? And how did I end up doing, how did I end up doing all this work? And there's lack of, one sign you can tell when it's a bad partnership is lack of communication. Okay? When you have lack of communication, WDC, how you doing? When it's a lack of communication, okay? When they're always asking you to do something, and it's like, well, and then when you ask them, because I got tested like this with an individual before. When I asked them to come and be on my show, Entrepreneur Corners, I don't do interviews. I don't do this. I don't do this. I don't do. Okay, well, what? I mean, so that was my sign of, okay, let me not give you no more rope to hang me. Okay. I'm not, right? Don't give them no more rope to hang you. Okay. All partnerships are not good partnerships. Okay, they are not. But you have to have discernment. That is the word of the day. Discernment. Okay. I was given specific instructions to start my business by God. Okay. And me and God were doing fine at the beginning of the relationship, but then sometimes you get to thinking about as a spiritual woman that I am, sometimes I might have jumped the tracks and lost my focus every now and then, but you get it back when you realize something is off. When you realize something is off in your business and things are not happening the way you think they supposed to happen. But really, I say this, God is in control, okay? We can't control everything. But God can keep us from the wrong people. He can divert us from the people, places, and things that do not benefit our business. Now, that is something that we also must do. We also must have our discernment up when it comes to people. Because just because they say they could do something, I'm an entrepreneur, I do this. And then when it's time for you to pull their strings, it's a bunch of heeing and hawing. Okay? That's something else that I had to learn to watch, to be mindful of. That sometimes everybody that say they're entrepreneur, yes ma'am, and everybody that says they're entrepreneur, they are not who they say they are. You must have discernment. Okay? Having discernment is priceless. All right? So, you guys, if you start off with God, you got to stay there. That's another one I want to talk about. When you start off with God as your leading, your lead factor of why you start this business, because God gave you specific instructions to start this business, stay with God. Do not listen to people in the street. Do not listen to people that ain't doing nothing. That's not doing nothing they're not where you at, where you trying to go. Do not listen to people that ain't doing diddly squat, because sometimes we don't know where we're going and being an entrepreneur, right? Sometimes we don't know where we're going. We don't know what direction we're going. And we go and step out and ask our uncles, our cousins, our nephews, and all these other people that ain't even got a business. That's the wrong person to be getting advice from. I'm just going to say it, keep it real. That's the wrong person we getting advice from. Is family, friends, and people that don't have a business. Okay? Because they probably don't even know how to keep their own. They know how to do, they may know how to do like checking account stuff, bills at home, but they don't know how to do accounting for a business. So taking care of house bills and a business is two different things. It's a whole different category, right? And we have to understand it. Hello, Robert. How are you doing today? So some of the things that I learned in business, what I wish I knew was how to keep my books properly, my accounting books, and what I need to keep personal and what I need to keep for the business. And save money for your business. Have a savings account for your business. Save money for your business in case you have emergencies that come up for your business. Okay? Do not intertwine your personal and business finances in the same account. They must be separate. Okay? Because that's a lot of rigmarole to get through when it comes to your rigmarole when it comes to your taxes when it's tax time. Okay? I wanted to, come in and did the story. Hey, Melanie, hi, Lynn, how are you doing today? Hello, thank you for coming in today. My name is Sharice N. Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharice N. Johnson Moore, LLC. And I'm a publishing consultant and visibility coach. I have book publishing consultations open. I have media interview availability open. I'm also working with faith-based entrepreneurs, leaders, to consultations about their business. I have that open. Hey, Miss B, how are you doing today? And I also am a singer. I'm a gospel artist and a speaker. So if you need someone to come sing at your wedding, your funeral, your bar mitzvah, your birthday party, your funeral, all those nice little events people like to have, divorce parties even. So, I'm available for singing engagements and speaking events, conferences, one-on-ones, virtuals, lives. I do travel, okay? So, you can reach out to me in my link tree in my profile and reach out and we'll sit down with a one-on-one free meeting so we can talk about your needs and what your business needs. Or if you require my services for singing and speaking engagements, we can also set that up too in a one-on-one free meeting, okay? I thank everyone for being here this evening. I just came in for a little bit and just, come in for a little bit and have this conversation with you. And once you start with God, don't jump ship. That's my best advice I could give you. What I wish I knew before I started my business is if you start with God, stay with God. Stay there with God. Don't sit and jump ship and listen to people that ain't got nothing going on for themselves. Because they can't give you no advice about where God trying to take you, okay? Only you and God have that kind of relationship. If he give you specific instructions for the start a business or vision for a business, he can give you that vision, but you have to stay obedient and be diligent in the work that you do once you start, being an entrepreneur, okay? It's not going to be easy sometimes. You be trying to figure out how I'm going to make this money, but, sometimes you got to take classes to learn how to market your business. You have to, take classes on marketing and advertising and things like that. Hello, billionaire. How are you doing today? And it is a thing of being diligent and always staying under the discernment and covering of God. Okay? Don't let nobody come along and steal your joy of your business because they ain't doing nothing. Okay? I'm just going to let you know. All right. So, I want to thank everybody for coming in today for, storytelling day. It's always storytelling day on a Tuesday, okay? So, I have some announcements. If you are an author, and you need help on your author journey, I suggest that you go and watch my replays, watch the videos on my YT channel. Okay, it's called Post Publication Power Moves and 30 Days of Visibility. I did 2 of those segments for 30 days straight for each. And they help out tremendously for authors that may be feeling lost. You've already published your book. You may have already, started your publishing journey. You've already done those things. And then some things that you have not done that you need to do, they are also words of wisdom in the videos. Okay. So I will be posting, I will be reposting that content. I just put up day six, um, from the video section. Hello, Tryworthy, how you doing? Hello, thank you for joining me. And if you are an author and you need help, baby, come see me. Baby, come see me. If you lost, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what's going on on your author journey, you're writing, whether you're in the writing process or you are about to hit the upload button, I want to help you as much as I can, okay? Because I'm so tired of seeing authors looking lost in the sauce and don't know what's going on, okay? So I wanted to help as many authors as I can, okay? I greatly appreciate everyone coming in today. If you need to sit down and talk to me, please go to my link tree in my profile and set up your one-on-one free meeting today, okay? I love you all, and everyone have a blessed day, all right? Bye, babies.